बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं हूं आसिफ खान और आप देख रहे हैं स्पोर्ट्स वन। आज के स्पोर्ट्स वन में हमारे पास बहुत कुछ है, लेकिन सबसे पहले हम आगाज़ करेंगे इंग्लैंड और पाकिस्तान का दूसरा टेस्ट मैच जो आज मुल्तान में शुरू हुआ। पहले रोज़ के अख्ताम पर पाकिस्तान ने 107 रन बना लिए हैं और 2 खिलाड़ी आउट हुए हैं। इससे पहले इंग्लैंड की टीम 281 रन बनाकर ऑल आउट हो गई और इसमें जो शानदार परफॉर्मेंस है वो अबरार अहमद की है, जिन्होंने अपना पहला टेस्ट मैच खेला और उसको यादगार बनाने में कामयाब हुए। 114 रन उन्होंने दिए 22 ओवर्स में और 7 खिलाड़ियों को आउट किया। अबरार अहमद मिस्ट्री बॉलर हैं, जिसको आप कह सकते हैं टेप बॉल में जो फिंगर बॉलर होता है उस तरह का बॉलर है ये। पाकिस्तान में इस तर्ज का बॉलर ये पहली मरतबा इंटरनेशनल सतह पे हमें नज़र आया है। अबरार के हवाले से मैं आपको बताऊं, अबरार ने जो शुरू किया था अपना करियर वो टेप टेनिस से ही खेला करते थे और जहांगीर रोड का जो इलाका है पाकिस्तान का, वहाँ कराची का, वहाँ ये रिहाइश पजीर हैं। लाइन्स एरिया क्लब जो जोन 3 में आता है वहाँ से फिर इन्होंने खेलना शुरू किया। इनके कोचेज़ में सज्जाद हैं और उसके अलावा सरवत साहब का नाम आता है जो इनके कोचेज़ हैं, शकील सज्जाद और सरवत। उसके बाद इनको जो देखा था वो मोहम्मद मसरूर ने देखा था, जो पाकिस्तान की जूनियर सतह पर कोचिंग में एक बड़ा नाम है। वो इनको लेकर गए राशिद लतीफ़ क्रिकेट एकेडमी कराची में और वहाँ से फिर ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता इनका सफ़र शुरू हुआ। अंडर 19 भी खेले, अंडर 16 भी खेले, उसके बाद फिर कराची किंग्स में आए, फिर अब ज़ल्मी में होते हैं। तो इनका सफ़र है अच्छा और अभी इस कायज़म ट्रॉफ़ी के बहुत मायनाज ये बॉलर रहे थे और इससे पहले सेकंड 11 में इन्होंने खेला था तो बहुत अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस वहाँ भी रही थी। तो मिस्ट्री स्पिनर हैं, इसलिए इनको पिक करना ज़रा मुश्किल था। आज देखा ये इंग्लैंड के बॉलर्स, इंग्लैंड के बैटर्स इनको इतना आसानी से पिक नहीं कर पाए। तो अबरार का शानदार डेब्यू, 7 विकटें इन्होंने ली हैं पहली इनिंग्स में और 11 विकटों का जो रिकॉर्ड है मोहम्मद जाहिद का, उस पर इनकी नज़र है। उम्मीद है कि दूसरी इनिंग में ये खेल पाएंगे और तोड़ पाएंगे उसका रिकॉर्ड भी। तो ये था टेस्ट मैच का पहला दिन। आज पहला दिन ख़त्म हुआ है, तो इस पे जब टेस्ट मैच ख़त्म होगा तो हमारा जो प्रोग्राम होगा उसमें डिटेल से हम बात करेंगे। तो टेस्ट क्रिकेट की बात तो यहाँ तक रही। उसके बाद अब मैं आपको लेके चलता हूँ, हम जाएंगे थाईलैंड। थाईलैंड में हुआ बॉडी बिल्डिंग का जो वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप है वो अभी शुरू नहीं हुई है, क्योंकि थाईलैंड हमसे आगे है वक्त के एतबार से, तो वहाँ रात गए मुकाबले शुरू होंगे। लेकिन पाकिस्तान के जो 7 खिलाड़ी शरीक हैं उनको कैटेगराइज कर दिया गया है। वेट कैटेगरी होती है बॉडी बिल्डिंग में, तो वेट कैटेगरी के हिसाब से खिलाड़ियों को कैटेगराइज तो कर दिया, लेकिन उनके मुकाबले अभी होने हैं। पाकिस्तान की बॉडी बिल्डिंग की ये जो टीम है ये है, इसकी जो जनरल सेक्रेटरी हैं वो हैं सुहेल अनवर। ये सुहेल अनवर की बॉडी बिल्डिंग टीम है। बॉडी बिल्डिंग के अंदर पाकिस्तान ने बहुत ज़्यादा धड़े बने हुए हैं। इनके सदर जो हैं कुंवर मुइज़ खान साहब हैं, इस्लामाबाद में होते हैं। तो ये इनके तवस्सुस से गई है। इससे पहले एशियन चैम्पियनशिप खेली थी, बहुत अच्छा रिकॉर्ड रहा था वहाँ, गोल्ड सिल्वर ब्रॉन्ज़ तीनों मेडल हासिल किए थे जब मालदीव्स में खेली थी पाकिस्तान की ये बॉडी बिल्डिंग टीम। तो आज जब मुकाबले ख़त्म होंगे तो रात गए तक पाकिस्तान के मुताबिक, वक्त के मुताबिक नतीजा आएगा, तो इसको भी हम अगले प्रोग्राम तक के लिए अपने उठा के रखते हैं। तो अब सिलसिला ये है कि अब मैंने जो आज का खेल चुना है वो पाकिस्तान का कौमी खेल है, हॉकी। पाकिस्तान की इस वक्त रैंकिंग है 18th और पाकिस्तान की टीम अभी नेशन कप्स खेल के आई है साउथ अफ्रीका से। इससे पहले अजलान शाह हॉकी कप खेला था, उसमें तीसरा नंबर पाकिस्तान ने हासिल किया था और 11 साल के बाद अजलान शाह में पोडियम पर पाकिस्तान की टीम आने में कामयाब रही थी। लेकिन यहाँ नेशन कप्स में कारकर्दगी इतनी अच्छी नहीं रही और कुछ खबरें आ रही हैं कि कोचेस का भी आपस में कोई इख्तिलाफ बढ़ के सामने आया, जिस पर पाकिस्तान हॉकी फेडरेशन ने भी बात की है मेरे ज़राए के मुताबिक। तो पाकिस्तान के जो हेड कोच हैं सिगफ्राइड एकमैन, उनसे आज हम बात का आगाज़ करेंगे और प्रोग्राम के दूसरे हिस्से में एक कोच जो पाकिस्तान टीम के कोच हैं अयाज़ महमूद साहब, उनको इन्वाइट किया है हमने स्टूडियो में। एकमैन के कुछ तहफ़्फ़ुज़ात हैं, उनके जवाब देंगे अयाज़ महमूद। तो एकमैन से हम बात शुरू करते हैं। एकमैन, सिगफ्राइड एकमैन हॉलैंड से हैं। Thank you very much, Aikman. How important that tour was, and had Pakistan not participated in the tournament,
Well,
what could
this
have
tour
happened?
was extremely important because if we would not be there, we would be banned for at least 2 years. We would have a huge fine, and we would lose our standard, our position on the rankings, and it would be very difficult to come back. If you can't play hockey for 2 years, then how can you improve and grow? So I think it would kill Pakistan hockey. And not talking about what would go on in the press and the blaming, and it would be a mess. So I'm very happy that we could go. Unfortunately, it was very late that we could go, but we could go. And if you look at it, we maintained our ranking. That is fantastic.
You said you finally went there after a few hiccups. What were those problems? What were those hurdles?
Well, it's that we have money. And simple, if you don't have money, you cannot do much. It starts with how we can prepare. We have 18 kookaburra balls. We have little facilities. We miss a fish show. We have to be careful with how we spend our money. So it makes it a little more difficult, but it's not a big excuse. The thing is that we want to perform, we practice, we work for it, and we like to match ourselves with other teams. And this tournament was also a high ranked tournament. The top 10 to top 18 were there. 8 teams ranked from 10 to 18. And that's, for us, unique. That means that we had to match ourselves with those teams. Then the second part is we had played in Aslan Shah with the Asian teams, but we didn't play Western teams. Western teams play differently, have a different structure, play differently, have different physique. So it's quite a different ball game. And to see how our young team would adapt was also interesting. And that are experiences which we hardly get.
From Aslan Shah to the Nation Cup, you were at number 3 at Aslan Shah, but you were quite down in the Nations Cup. You know the position. What was the reason of this debacle, this slump in the
Firstly,
ranking?
the Nation Cup was a higher ranked tournament, stronger opponents. We were in a group with France, Ireland, and South Africa. South Africa and Ireland played the final. France won the 5th, 6th place. We won the 7th, 8th place. So I think that we were in a very strong group. And in that group, we are not hammered. We lost with 6-2 from South Africa, but if you look at the details, then you will see that we were equal in play. But they were more effective in goal scoring.
Okay.
And we had 11 goal scoring opportunities, they had the same. They had 6 penalty corners, we had 2. They had 51% of ball possession, we had 49. So if you were at the game, then you will see a team which is playing for it. We went in the final part, last quarter, we went to play all or nothing because we were down in numbers. Then you have to do something. And then in counter-attack, they outplayed us.
So, what was the reason? The 3 reasons, if I ask you, what were the 3 reasons?
Our inexperienced defense. We have difficulties in marking because when to mark close, when to mark zonal, when to how to play one-on-one defense. We work very hard to improve it, but in a real game it's different than in a practice. And there you saw that the tactical discipline to play, do your counter control well. I think that we lost the matches in our defense because defendingly we made too many blunders. Attackingly, we scored not enough goals. So the effectiveness of our attackers, although we scored 10 field goals in 5 matches, that is quite a lot. Still, we should have scored more and we created more opportunities. So it's a balance between the performance from our attackers in goal scoring and in our defenders in the ability to mark very well. And that is what we have to learn.
You said 2 things about the problems with Pakistan. One is the defenders' problem, yes, all right, inexperienced side, all right. Recently, a few players have left the PHF, they resigned. Was that a problem to combine a team, to compose a team?
I think players who resigned, they resigned, so that's their free choice. But there are other players who were willing to play only later than when they were invited. So I think that we should come to a stage now that we will add them again to the group. And like in the Quran, you need to forgive as well. And you need to open your heart and make them back to the family. And then they need to fight together for who is the best. I think that the good thing is that we show that we have a group of young players, ambitious, willing to work hard, giving all they have. And the other players, if they want, they're welcome, but they have to be better than our players. So you will get a healthy competition. And that competition can help us to grow very fast.
To any plan to take them back to the fold?
I don't know, because in Pakistan there are many talks and many not talks. I don't know, many rumors. I know that the players want to come back. That I know. They sent message to me, they told me. And well, if I have the say, I would bring them back.
You are not given the choice when they were going back?
The selection is made by PHF. There's a selection committee. The staff is made by the PHF, and I was not involved. I got a list and I saw that I had a totally new staff, and I'm practical. I do my job, and I work and I do it to my best abilities.
Aikman, you said you would not have any say in the selection of the team. Do you think the head coach should have the say in the selection as well?
Well, in my contract, I asked to be responsible for the selection. So I think that is the case. I don't believe in selection committees because they have no clue about modern hockey. They don't know what we practice. They don't know what demands are for modern hockey. Example, look at the selection. I have only attackers and a few fullbacks, because the system in Pakistan is you have fullbacks, you have side halves, and then you have left in, left out, right in, right out, and a center forward, and you have center half. In the juniors they play like this, and until seniors. That's hockey from the years 80, my friends. That's 40 years ago you played like this. But that means there are no midfielders in Pakistan. Midfielders are connecting players. They transfer ball from one side to the others, from up to down. Those are players who are not dribbling, but their power is they pass. If you pass in Pakistan, you're not a good player because you don't dodge. So those players will not be selected. Their skills are not in the team. So I have, and by the way, the side halves, they like to attack too. And the fullback, if they get the ball, they hit the ball hard forward, or they play a long ball forward, and then job done. Counter control, 4 players, 5 players defending a counter attack, it's not there. So the specific needs are not there. And if you don't have it and you don't select, so they select many attacking players. But those players, they all take a risk. Dodge, lose the ball, counter against, we have a goal.
So you're basically demanding the PHF to dismantle the selection committee and give you the charge.
That's normal in hockey. Even in India, they don't do it anymore. But here, we keep doing it. And
our legacy is dodge. You know, looking out. So we have stars in the past who used to dodge the ball quite frequently. Hassan Sardar, Islauddin, Wasim Firoz, Tahir Zaman.
Well, the thing is that everybody, aage jao. That is the most heard word in the, and everybody. And why? Because we celebrate the Olympians from 40 years ago. They are our heroes. And we are watching those clips. I think we know every second from every match from those guys. But that's hockey which is not played anymore. It doesn't exist. But we keep telling, yes, this is, you said it yourself. Our style is attack, is dodging, is doing. So in the mind of people in Pakistan, you can only be a good player if you dodge, if you attack. That's not what we need.
Come to the point. I heard that some sort of a tiff between you and the coaching panel. How many coaches you have? First, tell me that.
Well, at the moment I had only one in this last part. Before that I had 3 assistant coaches. And I have a team manager who thinks that he is also an assistant coach. So then becomes 4. But that is, it's in person, but I have 1 assistant coach for this trip, and I had a team manager, and there was Ali Abbas who came as a media officer. I asked him to act as a video analyst because he was there and he could help, and he did a fantastic job. He understood it well, did the analysis, and he provided me with data which was very useful.
Coaches and you had an argument after the Japan game. What happened there?
Nothing much. It's not about what happened. We were disappointed we lost. We hoped to win that match. We really hoped. We lost, and we had a different opinion about cooling down, and that happened. It happens everywhere. So it's not a big deal. I would not elaborate too much on it, because things happen and we solve it and that's it. So I don't think that it's a big thing.
Are you ready to go with the same coaching panel on another tour?
That's another question. I think that, as I said before, I think that we need to have a coaching panel who works together based on similar ideas of hockey, and also on similar knowledge of hockey. And I think that we should rethink what we need. And that's something which it's not in my position to say what will happen, because I'm not selecting people. But I think that that is something we need to think.
If you are given a chance to make your own team, would you go with the same people?
If I make my own team, it will be a different team.
That's it. Different team what? Why?
Because I think that I gave the answer already. I think I would like to have some younger coaches who are more in modern hockey, and who are willing to learn and who wants to grow. And I have old Olympians, and old Olympians have their opinion and they are fixed. And opinions are mostly based on their experience as a player and the player they were in the past, and the hockey what was played in the past. And they grew up with it, they were celebrated in it, so it's their way of life. And there's no right or wrong in this, only I think that we have to move further. And since day one I'm here, I said, please celebrate our current national team players. Make them heroes. Make Pakistan know Umar Bhutta. Umar Bhutta is a fantastic captain, is a very good player, works hard, does many things. Unknown, because he's never interviewed, hardly interviewed. But who are interviewed? Who get most time in the media? Are the old Olympians. And it's always about their victories, their success. And I understand, because it was the glory time of Pakistan. But it was 40 years ago. The last World Cup was 1994, 30 years ago. And in between, nothing anymore. So respect for that, admiration for that, but life goes on. Live in now, in the era now. And look for people who are able to connect with players in this life. Because also the mentality of our players changed. What happened in that time, what was the culture in that time, is not the culture for the youth now. So you get also clashes and differences. So I think that it should be that staff and players should be part of world in which they understand each other and they feel comfortable with each other because we have the same range. And that's also why I want a younger coach, because I'm also an old guy. So I need some younger people who understand and can connect. And that's, I think, that you get a mix which is a better mix to perform.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सिक फ्राइड एकमन, आपने वक्त दिया। आप हॉलैंड जा चुके हैं, अब वापस आएंगे वो कह रहे थे, क्योंकि उनका जो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का मसला है वो भी हल हो चुका है। लेकिन उन्होंने बहुत तो ज़्यादा बात की कि कोचिंग पाकिस्तान में जो कोचिंग पैनल है वो 90s या 80s के कोच हैं, वो 80s के प्लेयर्स हैं साबिक, तो वो वैसा ही खिलाड़ियों को भी खिलाते हैं। डॉजिंग बहुत ज़्यादा अभी भी वो करने की कोशिश करते हैं, लेकिन हॉकी हैज़ चेंज्ड ओवर द ईयर्स और मॉडर्न हॉकी का उनको नॉलेज नहीं है। तो उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि अब अगर उनको मौका दिया जाए टीम बनाने का, तो ये कोचेज़ उनकी टीम का हिस्सा नहीं होंगे। एक ब्रेक लेते हैं, ब्रेक के बाद आई विल सी यू अगेन।